from her and the children for at least 3 weeks. I shall tell her," I continued, turning to Harris, "that it is you who have shown me my duty in this respect, that it is to you we shall owe—" Harris put down his glass rather hurriedly. "If you don't mind, old man," he interrupted, "I'd really rather you didn't. She'll talk it over with my wife, and, well, I should not be happy taking credit that I do not deserve." "But you do deserve it," I insisted. "It was your suggestion." "It was you gave me the idea," interrupted Harris again. "You know, you said it was a mistake for a man to get into a groove, and that unbroken domesticity cloyed the brain." "I was speaking generally," I explained. "It struck me as very apt," said Harris. "I thought of repeating it to Clara. She has a great opinion of your sense, I know. I'm sure that if we won't risk it," I interrupted in my turn. "It is a delicate matter, and I see a way out of it. We will say George suggested the idea." There is a lack of genial helpfulness about George that it sometimes vexes me to notice. You would have thought he would have welcomed the chance of assisting two old friends out of a dilemma. Instead, he became disagreeable. "You do," said George, "and I shall tell them both that my original plan was that we should make a party, children and all, that I should bring my aunt, and that we should hire a charming old chateau I know of in Normandy on the coast, where the climate is peculiarly adapted to delicate children, and the milk such as you do not get in England. I shall add that you overrode that suggestion, arguing we should be happier by ourselves." With a man like George, kindness is of no use. You have to be firm. "You do," said Harris, "and I, for one, will close with the offer. We will just take that chateau. You will bring your aunt. I will see to that, and we will have a month of it. The children are all fond of you. Jay and I will be nowhere. You've promised to teach Edgar fishing, and it is you who will have to play wild beasts. Since last Sunday, Dick and Muriel have talked of nothing else but your hippopotamus. We will picnic in the woods. There will only be 11 of us. And in the evenings we will have music and recitations. Muriel is master of 6 pieces already, as perhaps you know, and all the other children are quick studies." George climbed down. He has no real courage, but he did not do it gracefully. He said that if we were mean and cowardly and false-hearted enough to stoop to such a shabby trick, he supposed he couldn't help it, and that if I didn't intend to finish the whole bottle of claret myself, he would trouble me to spare him a glass. He also added, somewhat illogically, that it really did not matter, seeing both Ethelberta and Mrs. Harris were women of sense who would judge him better than to believe for a moment that the suggestion emanated from him. This little point settled, the question was, what sort of a change? Harris, as usual, was for the sea. He said he knew a yacht, just the very thing, one that we could manage by ourselves, no skulking lot of lubbers loafing about, added to the expense and taking away the romance. Give him a handy boy, he would sail it himself. We knew that yacht, and we told him so. We'd been on it with Harris before. It smells of bilge water and greens to the exclusion of all other scents. No ordinary sea air can hope to head against it. So far as sense of smell is concerned, one might be spending a week in Limehouse Hole. There's no place to get out of the rain. The saloon is 10 feet by 4, and half of that is taken up by a stove, which falls to pieces when you go to light it. You have to take your bath on deck, and the towel blows overboard just as you step out of the tub. Harris and the boy do all the interesting work, the lugging and the reefing, the letting her go and the heeling her over and all that sort of thing, leaving George and myself to do the peeling of the potatoes and the washing up. "Very well, then," said Harris, "let's take a proper yacht with a skipper and do the thing in style." That also I objected to. I know that skipper. His notion of yachting is to lie in what he calls the offing, where he can be well in touch with his wife and family, to say nothing of his favourite public house. Years ago, when I was young and inexperienced, I hired a yacht myself. 3 things had combined to lead me into this foolishness. I had had a stroke of unexpected luck. Ethelberta had expressed a yearning for sea air. And the very next morning, in taking up casually at the club a copy of The Sportsman, I had come across the following advertisement. 2 yachtsmen, unique opportunity, rogue, 28-ton yawl, owner called away suddenly on business, is willing to let this superbly fitted greyhound of the sea for any period, short or long. 2 cabins and saloon, Pianette by Wochenkoff. New copper. Terms, 10 guineas a week. Apply Pertwee and Company, 3A, Bucklersbury. It had seemed to me like the answer to a prayer. The new copper did not interest me. What little washing we might want could wait, I thought. But the Pianette by Wochenkoff sounded alluring. I pictured Ethelbertha playing in the evening, something with a chorus in which the crew, with a little training, might join, while our moving home bounded, greyhound-like, over the silvery billows. I took a cab and drove direct to 3A, Bucklersbury. Mr. Pertwee was an unpretentious-looking gentleman who had an unostentatious office on the 3rd floor. He showed me a picture in watercolours of the Rogue flying before the wind. The deck was at an angle of 95 to the ocean. In the picture, no human beings were represented on the deck. I suppose they'd slipped off. Indeed, I do not see how anyone could have kept on, unless nailed. I pointed out this disadvantage to the agent, who, however, explained to me that the picture represented the Rogue doubling something or other on the well-known occasion of her winning the Medway Challenge Shield. Mr. Pertwee assumed that I knew all about the event, so that I did not like to ask any questions. 2 specks near the frame of the picture, which at first I had taken for moths, represented, it appeared, the 2nd and 3rd winners in this celebrated race. A photograph of the yacht at anchor off Gravesend was less impressive, but suggested more stability. All answers to my inquiries being satisfactory, I took the thing for a fortnight. Mr. Pertwee said it was fortunate I wanted it only for a fortnight. Later on, I came to agree with him, the time fitting in exactly with another hiring. Had I required it for 3 weeks, he would have been compelled to refuse me. The letting being thus arranged, Mr. Pertwee asked me if I had a skipper in my eye. That I had not was also fortunate. Things seemed to be turning out luckily for me all round, because Mr. Pertwee felt sure I could not do better than keep on Mr. Goyles, at present in charge. An excellent skipper, so Mr. Pertwee assured me, a man who knew the sea as a man knows his own wife, and who had never lost a life. It was still early in the day, and the yacht was lying off Harwich. I caught the 10:45 from Liverpool Street, and by 1 o'clock was talking to Mr. Goyles on deck. He was a stout man, and had a fatherly way with him. I told him my idea, which was to take the outlying Dutch islands, and then creep up to Norway. He said, "Aye, aye, sir," and appeared quite enthusiastic about the trip. Said he should enjoy it himself. We came to the question of victualling, and he grew more enthusiastic. The amount of food suggested by Mr. Goyles, I confess, surprised me. Had we been living in the days of Drake and the Spanish Main, I should have feared he was arranging for something illegal. However, he laughed in his fatherly way and assured me we were not overdoing it. Anything left the crew would divide and take home with them. It seemed this was the custom. It appeared to me that I was providing for this crew for the winter, but I did not like to appear stingy, and said no more. The amount of drink required also surprised me. I arranged for what I thought we should need for ourselves, and then Mr. Goyles spoke up for the crew. I must say that for him he did think of his men. "We don't want anything in the nature of an orgy, Mr. Goyles," I suggested. "Orgy?" replied Mr. Goyles. "Why, they'll take that little drop in their tea." He explained to me that his motto was, "Get good men and treat them well. They work better for you," said Mr. Goyles, "and they come again." Personally, I didn't feel I wanted them to come again. I was beginning to take a dislike to them before I'd seen them. I regarded them as a greedy and guzzling crew. But Mr. Goyles was so cheerfully emphatic, and I was so inexperienced, that again I let him have his way. He also promised that even in this department he would see